Many feel that COVID-19 has closed the door to opportunity, but entrepreneurs are proving that this hardship has opened the window to new beginnings.
6 victims were shot and transported. 5 of them transported to Springfield Regional Medical Center. 1 of them was transported by care flight to Miami Valley Hospital. Now, I am on South Yellow Springs and McCain Street. I'm about a block away from where the shooting took place. Police have put the crime scene tape up. They also have flares on the road continuing to block it off.
A little bit of everything is the right description, Kristen. Yes, I'm on South 1st Street here in Tip City, and you guys can see it's a little bit more clear here on the main road.
What you see when you're coming out here, like you said, there is one lane that is open, but out here on the other lanes, you see debris on the ground. You see glass, shattered glass, closed, filling up the other lanes.
It's thick ice underneath, and just to show you guys some of those freezing temperatures, even under the cars, we're seeing a lot of icicles on the cars as well. But what I want you guys to do is, I know when you wake up, you're getting your car toasty, and the last thing that you want to do, at least for me, is clear off the car. I've been seeing some of this siding fall from the roof as that's beginning to collapse as crews are continuing to work. And you guys, earlier this morning before I got here, I was just a couple of blocks away, and I was actually able to see that dark smoke from blocks away that you guys can see right above my head. This is what the sidewalks look like. They are not cleared. It goes up a little bit past my ankles, but the side streets, that's the big thing. I was talking about this layer of slushy snow with ice pockets underneath, and that is what we're seeing here all the way down. It takes about 3 or 4 intersections to get to the main street. You can actually see a look behind the mobile home that I am at right now, but I want you guys to see just how deep this flooding is right now. I am not even halfway through here, and the water is almost up to my knees.
The Springfield Evidence Collection Unit just brought out about 10 bags of evidence in this truck behind me. That's where they just put it, and they're continuing to work on their investigation. If you guys walk a little bit over here to me on the left, you can see they just opened up this car.
I've seen it go all the way down the parking lot and actually loop around. But I want to tell you guys that the lines do look longer than what they are because of social distancing.
We're kicking back, we're relaxing, but we're doing it in a safe way here at the ballpark. You can see they've got these plastic dividers at the top of each row, and every other row has these ropes, these yellow gold ropes in between, keeping that social distance. And because this one's blocked off at the edge, you actually have that perfect amount of 6 feet across from the other row.
I've got my elbow pads, I've got my knee pads, and my skates. If you guys can't tell from the skaters behind me, this is a very intense sport. It is no joke. I've got Becky here who is holding my hand because I am not the best skater. Yes, I got the cheerleaders here. I've got the football players next to me. But you know, it's not just about preparing for the game. It's also about catching those big wins. And who knows most about that is Gavin, who is a senior here. Gavin, you're also on a winning streak. Can you talk to me about what really stands out this year?
Yes, and I've already got my pom-poms ready to go. But you know what? It's not just about the athletes on the field. It's also about the athletes off the field. I'm here with the cheerleaders, and they're actually going to start tumbling for you.
This is not the ideal commute this morning. In fact, I have been seeing crews just coming over here multiple times, returning to get more salt to treat those roads and those roads. That's what I want to talk to you about. If you guys can see, this is some of that slushy snow mounding up in between, and this is what AAA, when I spoke with Kara Hitchens, this is what she was talking about. I have scissors with me and I have stock paper, and this is all it takes for people across the U.S. to make a fake vaccination card.
Now, when families come, the only thing they need to bring is identification. And when they come, they don't even need to roll down the window. They can easily just show it through the window.
I really am, Nathan, and you know what?
Right now, we're where the 5K is about to start, but I'm cheating a little bit because we're on a golf cart. We're not running, but the runners are prepared, so I'm going to pretend like I'm burning calories this morning as I'm watching this. To be honest, I'm a little exhausted myself, but we're giving you guys a little background tour right now, showing you these preparations underway.
With that level 1 snow emergency, they received up to 4 inches of snow, and just right here in Bell Fountain, we've got a little over that 3 inches. Since I've been here this morning, I've seen people arriving very emotional, trying to make sense of what happened. But I want you guys to take a look. I'm going to step out of the way. You can see the front window. There is still shattered glass there. Actually, we have more police officers who are driving up on Wayne Avenue, having to shovel our driveways, shovel our sidewalks. And this is no joke. This is very much an exercise, especially being out here in these Arctic temperatures. But I wish you guys could feel the energy and the
adrenaline in this room. As you guys can see, the students are coming in right now. There are hundreds of students, and if you take note of my glasses, everyone is wearing them because they are working with power tools.
A new movement taking place here locally with a simple phrase, I love West Dayton. Good evening, I'm Payton Marshall. And Governor DeWine says he's concerned about the continued spread of the Delta variant as well as the low vaccination rates. Over the past year, parents have been able to listen to their children's classes for the first time ever, all thanks to virtual learning. The Centerville City School Board hasn't made a decision on masking just yet, but that's not keeping parents from sharing their opinion on the matter. Now, the state has set aside $500,000. Now, after a year of festivals and parades canceled due to the pandemic, we're starting to see larger gatherings pop up. Dayton Pride 2021 was back in full force last night and today. The push to get Ohioans vaccinated continues this morning as health officials warn the COVID-19 Delta variant could become the dominant strain here in the state. Just a matter of days, families will receive money for each of their children through the Child Tax Credit Program. So far, only 48% of Ohioans have gotten at least one dose of the Pfizer or the Moderna vaccine. We're tracking breaking news this morning out of Brookville. Arlington Road and US 40 National Roads closed because of a deadly clash. What's your new song?
Well, I'm going to do a song I released not too long ago called I'm Over You, so get over me.
Oh, but we're not over you just yet, Alex, so make sure to stay with us here on Fox 45.
Megan, if you remember last year, due to the global pandemic, community members were not able to gather. So although this is the second anniversary, this is the first time that the community can come together, reunite. You can actually see people gathering behind me. They're able to come together to mourn the innocent lives that were lost. Flowers, candles, and Post-it notes blanket the Oregon district, sticking a hopeful message in Daytonian minds to rise by lifting others. This after the tragic night of August 4th, 2019.
A war zone in a matter of seconds.
Dion Green's father, Derek Fudge, was one of the 9 victims shot and killed.
Came with 5 and left with 4. And one that I didn't leave with was my father.
I'm sorry, I'm tearing up. Susie Lane is a board member with Green for the Fudge Foundation, an organization he founded to help survivors address trauma and work on gun legislations. She recalls on the grief that lives with Green every single day.
His dad got shot 5 times and the bullets missed him somehow. But he looked down, he thought his dad was, just had fallen to get away from the bullets. He thought he was alive. He went down and he realized, he was dying. And so he died right there in his arms.
Green's life mission now is to help others cope with mental anguish.
I give them what I'm going through. And so, I try to help families through their hard times because it never gets easy. Because I'm not all right. And that's what I tell people, it's all right to say you're not all right.
Green's vocal about his symptoms in hopes that it'll benefit those who are also burdened by immense sadness.
Waking up sore, not knowing I'm having anxiety attacks, being depressed, angry, cold sweats, visions. I had it all.
Although there's pain and anguish stimulated by sharing his story so publicly, Green tells me it's also therapeutic for him to support other local survivors.
I want to continue to make all of them proud and keep their names because they're gone, but they're not forgotten.
The ceremony tonight will include a 9-minute moment of silence to honor the victims. Reporting live in the Oregon District, Payton Marshall, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Yes, Courtney, I am here at the Walmart parking lot where at noon earlier today, people gathered to begin the march, protesting for rights they feel have been stolen.
Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Today we're fighting for our rights that should have been afforded to us in the first place. I think it's really interesting to live in a world, in a country specifically, that values freedom and democracy, yet when people practice it, they are punished.
Abuelu Madison marched with his brother, sister, and friends today. He said as a kid, his mom told him to stay inside at night because she was worried about the police taking his life, just as they took John Crawford's life in this same Walmart. The Walmart where protesters gathered in to march today.
It's amazing because for once once in my life, I feel like I'm not one of the only people in the world who see these issues. I can see that other people are experiencing the same things, and other people are just as impassioned about it.
Many protesters, like Victor Bonacore, brought their children along today to march by their side.
Well, I think one of the key points to change is education. And, you know, and she's a smart kid, but they don't teach a lot of the stuff in school that they should.
He said it was important for his daughter Riley to march with him, so she could see how this movement is speaking to society.
It's not looting and rioting, it's peaceful, it's strong voices, it's a strong youth, it's a changing society, and I think it's important for her to see that.
As she listened to the cries of people protesting for change and sirens of officers forced to listen, Bonacore was able to teach Riley an important lesson.
He's taught me that you can't judge people just on their skin color or for anything, because we're all human beings.
He says it's vital for his daughter to understand that it's okay to feel angry sometimes, and that there's value in speaking your mind.
I think it's people are afraid to say that they're angry with the police. That doesn't mean you hate every single police officer, but you know, we pay their salaries, we pay taxes. We're allowed to be angry with the system and want change.
This desire for change is what inspired so many to come out today, united in wearing black clothing and signs that speak to the pain they feel.
It's encouraging because if we can come together now, what other issues can we come together on?
Today, we see how the community continues to push for change as they stand in solidarity for the innocent lives that were lost. Reporting in Beaver Creek, Payton Marshall, Dayton 24/7 Now News.